WrestleMania weekend was an absolute success, but now we got to get back to business. My name is Zango, and today we got a lot of stories to talk about. The Briscoes, Impact, ROH Supercard of Honor, success, not a success. What are my honest thoughts? Also, some AEW stars have come out and reacted to Cody Rhodes WWE return, and we're going to talk about it all. As always, if you guys want more videos like this, don't forget to click that subscribe button, ring that bell, and you could even join in on the Ango Show live immediately after Raw, NXT, AEW, Dynamite, Rampage, SmackDown, this and that. All these shows, we're covering it. We're bringing it to you. Let's get right into the video. The Briscoes. Now, as you guys know, the Briscoes very well could have had their last match for Tony Khan. We have stayed up with we stayed up to date with the story about the Briscoes and Warner Media. Warner Media is not really looking at bringing them in for AEW or ROH if the programming is on Warner Media. Now, with that being said, one of the things that I speculated before was, hey, Impact, GCW, NWA could very well be a good scenario for the Briscoes. And it appears that I'm not the only one who thinks this way, because PW Insider has reported that Impact Wrestling would like to bring in Jay and Mark Briscoe as regulars if possible. Now, for those who may have missed Multiverse of Matches on Friday night after Supercard of Honor, well, the Briscoes not only did double duty, but they actually lost in the main event at Impact Wrestling Multiverse of Matches. They versed the Good Brothers, a fantastic main event, and they even cut a promo saying that they would come back. Now, the thing about the Briscoes is, obviously, we saw that match with FTR. It was a tremendous match. You know, I don't really have like a ranking system or anything, fellas, but what I do have is the ability to say that match was absolutely sick. I gave it 10 stars out of 5. Yeah, it's just kind of how it goes. That's what happens when you create magic in the ring, and the Briscoes and FTR definitely had that magic. I think Briscoes going to Impact would be a great move, not only for Impact, but also a great move for the Briscoes. The Impact Tag Team division doesn't really exist in the way I would hope, and I think the Briscoes going there could definitely bring a lot of spotlight to that division, and I would like to see Impact sign more tag teams and put a little bit more of a focus on that tag team division. It's definitely an area that they can improve in. With that being said, I do want to move over to Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor, because as you know, this was the first pay-per-view under the Tony Khan umbrella, and after this, we don't expect to see ROH or AEW during WrestleMania weekend. Tony Khan has made it perfectly clear he doesn't want to be at WrestleMania weekend. It's also pretty clear he doesn't want his talent being there for WrestleMania weekend. It's all a strange situation, but nonetheless, ROH Supercard of Honor is considered internally as a big success. Now, of course, when this comes from Meltzer, you could kind of come up with your own opinion here, but Meltzer has reported on Wrestling Observer Radio that the show did over 20,000 pay-per-view buys, which is a great number for ROH. To make it even more impressive is the fact that fans who were subscribed to the Honor Club streaming service got the show for free. For Ring of Honor, they did over 20,000 buys. This doesn't factor in their streaming app, which obviously we don't really know if people use the streaming app. But internally, this is something that people believe as a good thing for ROH. Now, I really don't care about the numbers, whether it's good or bad. If they believe it's successful, that is great. From an analysis standpoint, I assumed it would have been better because Tony Khan and AEW made a big deal out of them buying ROH. But I think this is going to be a case of fans not necessarily adapting to this change. I think the very, very, very hardcore AEW audience is interested in seeing what ROH can do. I think people who have watched ROH in the past want to see what they can do. How Tony Khan integrates this into his product will be very interesting, because a lot of people, by the way, a lot of people are forgetting about this, and it's important to kind of mention this part. Tony Khan is making it very clear that the ROH Championship belt will be defended on Dynamite and Rampage and whatnot. There seems to be some sort of disconnect between what Tony Khan is telling us about ROH and what they showed us with ROH. So it is something that we have to see play out. It is something that we'll see develop over time. But I don't know. I hope it works out. I really, really hope it works out. By the way, if you missed the Ango show, I said, ROH Supercard of Honor was a good show. I just feel like I don't know what to expect going forward, and that is obviously a concern. It would have been nice to know that night. For being such a transitional show, I don't think it was actually good at transitioning to the new era. Now, with that being said, what excites me about ROH Supercard, or just ROH in general, really, what excites me about the whole ordeal is that if AEW does treat it as a developmental and it has a TV show on a weekly basis, I like that because I really like NXT as well. I like to see the future stars. And if Tony Khan is really looking at doing that, I think it could be a good idea. And I think over time, that's how he's going to get his audience to actually start watching ROH. It'll be very interesting to see how that unfolds. Now, with that being said, I do want to switch the topic to Cody Rhodes. For those who are unaware, Cody Rhodes returned at WrestleMania despite being the executive vice president of AEW. And man, he took a lot of shots at WWE, but he's back. He had an amazing match with Seth Rollins. I thought it was really executed just very well in general. WWE has so far made Cody Rhodes feel like a big deal, even with the promo after Raw. But now we got to talk about it. We got to talk about what AEW stars are saying, because the fans, I read the comments, man. The comments and there's a lot of people who are mad at Cody. But what I'm seeing here is there's a lot of people in AEW who are happy for Cody, and obviously that's what you should expect. So Dustin Rhodes, first and foremost, his brother says, "Get him, brother. Love you." Ricky Starks puts out a tweet at 10:05 p.m. Proud star emoji. Brian Pillman Jr. at Cody Rhodes, "Every time you looked up at the ceiling, I got chills. So happy for you, brother." Aubrey Edwards, "This is so cool. I know Matt Cardona isn't a AEW wrestler anymore, but Matt Cardona is just the shit." He has a picture with the shirt, the man, obviously with the American Nightmare t-shirt. And then you got Diamante from LAX, "Adrenaline in my soul." So a lot of people seem to be very positive about this, and that's exactly what you would expect. Now, what's really funny too is the Young Bucks actually posted in their bio, "Oh, well, I thought we were doing like All In 2 or something." So yeah, they're having fun with it. They're obviously in character. Now, when it comes to AEW people reacting to Cody Rhodes being in WWE, fans could sit here and be negative. Fans could call him a traitor, sell out this and that or whatever. But at the end of the day, business is business. He had to do what was right for him. AEW stars are going to support him. I think the ones that are truly his friends and the ones that were really supportive of him before are the ones who are going to support him going forward. Now, how does Tony Khan feel? How do maybe the other EVPs feel? We don't know. They were radio silent, and it is what it is. I think it's really cool to see when there's a little bit of camaraderie back and forth. But also, you guys know, like, sometimes the trash talk could be fun and silly. I just think sometimes it gets overdone, and then I think people get too emotional. They get their emotions attached. Wrestling should be fun. Wrestling should be fun. Wrestling should be fun. So yes, I 1000% believe that wrestling should be fun, and I'm not going to hold back on that. I've seen a lot of people over the past few days just get really upset and bothered by this, and I'm not sure as to why, but it is what it is. Very interesting reactions. I'm sure there's plenty more, but these were some of the ones I've compiled, and it just goes to show you that, wrestlers are still wrestling fans regardless of the company they work for. My name is Ango. If you guys want more videos like this, don't forget to click that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.